Right, welcome back. This is the second audio podcast, and we're releasing this as a video cast for the Milner Field House History and Discovery channel, which is basically a cooperative of us who just fucking love the place. And last week, the very first podcast with Chrissie and myself on, and this week we're joined by the next member. So we're going to do this week by week, and Mr. Alan Taylor. So, how are you guys doing tonight? You all right?
I'm not too bad.
Chrissie, you're okay now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Jolly good, right. So we've got a lot to talk about, so let's get on with it. Right, so Alan, the people at home might not know you, apart from Explore With Me channel on YouTube. Could you tell us a bit about yourself and how you became acquainted with Milner Field, and, just talk about your relationship with the place as well, yeah? Please.
I was brought up just down the road from it, to be honest. Spent good 20 years of my life just down the road. I went to school in Dilsted, so I used to play in there in between, sort of going to school and finishing school. Sometimes maybe striving a little bit in there, but yeah, so I've always sort of enjoyed it because of that sort of thing. Plus, the Milners is also my ancestors, so that's got me even more interested in it in past and all.
What direction?
Just a very interesting place, and it's hard not to get sort of interested in it, really. If you come across something like that, it sucks you in, so to speak. Once it's got you, really.
Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, like I said to Chrissie last week, I kind of found it when I was like 8, 9 years old, and then didn't go back for years and didn't realise what it was. What was it? What kind of year was it that you I mean, I don't know what it
how old am I? I can't remember how old I'm at. 34, so 22. I can't remember what middle school ages would have been. I'd have probably been about 9-ish, something like that. I used to play in house up in North Lodge when I was young. I used to be able to get in there quite easily back then.
Oh, yeah. So what was that like? Because that got...
no roof on it, no floors, fireplaces were done. It was just a bare shell, really. They were just a bit of a spiral staircase, that's it.
Wow.
Then. It's in a very bad state.
Yeah. And of course, I think it was about 2008, 2009, they gutted it, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it was 2013, from when I looked in recently. There's something, I think I've seen a picture from 2013 with scaffolding up on it anyway.
Or maybe, maybe there's preservation work in it first, and then, because it's always up for rent now, isn't it?
So no one seems to stay long. It's expensive, to be honest. So.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised it's expensive for a house like that. But
yeah, I did see it a couple of years ago when I moved back to Shipley. I did see it, and it was like 1,200 quid a month. And I was thinking,
it's about the same now.
I think,
4 times the amount I pay where I live. It's madness.
Well, it's probably gone up a lot now. I mean,
I think it was 1,200 quid still recently, to be honest. But it's not really got good transport links in there, though, has it? It's got a bus up road, that's it. So
no, but it was Primrose Lane, so
Yeah, well, there's always that as well. It's quite a nice part of Bingley, in it, I suppose.
Very nice, yeah, Gilstead. All right, so what's kind of your first memories of the place, and what do you think about it now?
Playing in North Lodge is probably the earliest memories I have, playing with a few with mates, jumping through windows, whatnot. So yeah, a few of us.
Did you do any graffiti? Did you?
No. Who was any middle school kids? So
okay.
You couldn't have done it any harm anyway. To be honest, back then it was in such a bad way.
Yeah.
Even if you'd have spray painted it, it wouldn't have made any difference.
No. To be honest, I never saw it at that time.
The main graffiti done to it was the fact it was left like that. That's the worst bit of vandalism there was there, to be honest. It should never have been left to rot away and fall to pieces.
But like setting fires in there or something, or not?
No. Someone told me there might have been a fire in there, but I'm not sure. I don't remember seeing any evidence of a fire, more of rot than all else.
Yeah. Oh, well, I suppose it looks beautiful now. All done out. I haven't been in myself since it's been done out, but
it's lovely inside.
Yeah, apparently, well, they tried to do it in the same style, in the same style.
Even the extension, you can't tell it's an extension, to be honest. They've done a really good job with it.
Yeah, and I noticed when it was last Saturday as well with Mark and Chrissie and Carl and so on that They said you dug out some of that big oven fireplace next to
down in kitchens,
the one with looks like an R and the PR, and then the dagger.
the one with tiles in it. The tiles inside fireplace, yeah.
Yeah.
There's another 3 fireplaces in there, and it's not the main fireplace, or the ones in between that, but that's all been got a tree growing through it and all sorts of other ones. Or one of the other ones.
Yeah, it looks like just a very functional fireplace, doesn't it? Like a kitchen where
that's what it was, the kitchen, yeah.
Yeah. So
the adrenal kitchen.
I noticed when I was there today, and I'd gone around the back there, and then like somebody's cut down some of the younger trees, but they've used a saw or something. I don't know off the top. So I don't know whether it's kids or no, it just looks like a really clean cut, not like they've been pulled down. So I might have to have a look at those tomorrow.
Yeah,
what's going on there?
No. It's a bit worried about digging out more of that if it might collapse. Though, to be honest, there's a lot of brickwork inside it and stuff like that, and then with tree growing above it, I don't know if it's just going to cave in.
Yeah, it seems fairly solid. So like, did you move away then, and then you've kind of stayed in touch with things and the history? Or when did
you moved far away? To be honest, I've always stayed pretty close. I lived in Shipley for many years, and I moved down to Essex for a year and came back, but that's it.
Oh, that's probably long enough in Essex.
Yeah, it was a bit too long, maybe. It's all right. It's good. It's all right.
I've been to Essex to work. It's not that bad.
Some odd people down there, but
yeah, they're a little bit different to us here in Yorkshire.
Right.
I don't think there are any Essex people watching this. So, and then when did you really get interested in the history of the place? What kind of turned?
I've always been interested in history and that place. So it sort of naturally happened, really. Can't really pinpoint it down to a certain time.
Oh, okay, cool. And then last question. This is from a lady called Chrissie from Morley. What have you got against spiders?
What have I got against what?
Spiders.
Oh, bloody hell. Them spiders are awful in that place.
I know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not scared of spiders, but them ones in there, I don't want to do any of them ones.
They're just look like some kind of like transformers. They've got like kind of like long red metallic legs, and they just kind of come out like.
They're European cave spiders, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So I was having a look up on them, but apparently they're quite rare, but they're not rare in Milner Field, are they? But
no.
They're very common. No, it'd be interesting to know what they were, but anyway.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Alan. I've been up there today. It's a bit wet, it's a bit muddy, but there's leaves carpet and everything, and I think it's probably going to be easier for digging and kind of chipping things out as well.
It's much nicer to see in winter, is that place, because you can see what everything is, because there's less foliage and what have you. It's not barren to look at. It's like a lot of history really that's like that. It's so much easier to explore when it's winter time.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. When I have to go up there in the summertime or even to autumn, with decent camera, after like the flash on it to get. Because it's too dark, you can't get a lot of good decent photos. So like today, it's fairly sunny today, but still light's fairly low. But then in winter, it's like revealed.
I like exploring in winter. I do a lot of old railways and stuff, and old railway lines are too overgrown in summer, so I'll be doing a lot more of them over winter.
Awesome, yeah. So we'll be posting other videos like Chrissie's, Alan's, and even Andrew's videos on the different channels. Not only on YouTube now, BitTube, Library, Odyssey, Rumble, and anywhere else you get. It just kind of shares things around as well.
Yeah, it's well done.
Yeah. So it's a good thing to do, because a lot of people won't use YouTube anymore, particularly like people that got banned from it.
Oh yeah, I've never been banned from it, thankfully.
You're not being controversial enough. You need to be more controversial. Right. So, Chrissie, as well, how's your week been, and what's your plans for tomorrow?
Okay, actually, it's been obviously busy because we've just moved into a new place, so it's always something to do. speaking of spiders, I washed my car yesterday, which was a bit premature, but I pulled out a towel to dry the car off afterwards, and I literally just walked outside, unrolled it. There was a huge, dirty, great big black spider right in the middle of it.
Oh,
I let out a scream and just flicked it somewhere. And then 2 minutes later, it was trying to get in the back door. I was like, no, get away. Yeah. Apart from that, just been busy with life. I don't really know what to say about tomorrow, because when I get there, I just want to be in 5 different places at once. It's I want to do a bit of this, bit of that. I had to train myself to, like I was telling you last time, I need to just focus on one area and commit to it.
Well, it's easier said than done, though, isn't it? In that
place? It is, because it's, oh God, there's so much to find. It's there. You want to get cracking, but it's not that easy, is it?
I can look at one bit and then spot somewhere else and end up over there. It's so easy to do. It's just
but there's so many areas I know under all that ivy that's carpeting, just past the drawing room bay.
Yeah.
There's loads of rubble under there. I know there is.
That was another one I said.
Yeah, exactly. And then you found some rose bushes today.
Secrets, yeah.
So that's my first job in the morning, is to start pulling some ivy and just trim around them.
Yeah, and
one of them's the murdered in one.
Yeah, well, I mean, you never know.
Yeah, it's literally only 2 or 3 feet from where we finished peeling back the ivy back in August time.
Yeah.
And I just noticed it popped up through and I'm like, oh, right, there's one there. And then, but I guess once you've taken all the ivy away, they'll then get the full ability, because they'll grow, and if photosynthesis, they'll grow out or grow bigger. I've checked.
Well, they'll start getting more light, won't they? And obviously more moisture. Yeah. So
there'll be a big relief for them.
Yeah, because the ivy's kind of like sucking the soil dry, and they're not getting the light and everything, like you say. And it's like, well, yeah, I think there might be a couple more. I don't know, but there's still that whole section's good. So
it's a bit of a parasite, isn't it? That ivy. Parasite of the plant world, really, in a way.
Yeah, I was saying last week, it's like War of the Worlds, where the vine takes over the entire plant.
Yeah. I can't believe the size of some of them, the trunks that are part of that ivy. There's some trunks that are
they're like the roots.
Everything ivy trunks like that.
Yeah, they're absolutely. It's had like decades and decades to grow.
Yeah, and the ivy was growing up the house on it when it was built. So it could be a bit fun, to be honest.
It strangled the trees. It's like that tree that's I was just doing some footage for the next video today. That tree that's on top of the kind of semicircular drawing room bay window.
Oh yeah, that huge one.
Covered in ivy roots of that thick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have sawed through a few of those. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It doesn't seem to have made any difference at all.
Oh no, you got to.
Some of those are thick.
I don't think you'd ever get all the ivy out of that place.
No. But if we can make it retreat, I'm sure we can. We did quite well on that terrace part that we've done. If we can just pull it back to the wall, to the terrace wall.
Yeah.
And then just try and, for as long as we can, try and keep it there.
Yeah, to keep it at bay, so to speak.
Yeah, because it just takes over everything, and like you say, it strangles the trees, it's killing the plants. It's just there's plenty of ivy there. It's not as if we're going to get rid of it all, I'm sure.
I don't think we could if we tried. I don't think if we just all his efforts in killing ivy.
Flamethrower.
Well,
flagging it up there with one now, to be honest.
And the thing I've noticed down the years gardening is that with ivy, sometimes it puts down new roots in different spots.
Oh yeah.
It does, yeah. It's got roots all the way along it.
It's got legs. It's got legs all over. It's like a centipede is ivy. If you pull the root up, it's got different legs.
Yeah. Plants down to make.
Yeah, it's horrendous.
Right. So the weather forecast seems to have cleared up a bit for tomorrow.
Yes.
And then, we've got had a couple of people around today asking, and a friend was on there saying, "Oh, what have you done? I haven't seen what you've done." They're like, "Wow," she said, "that's a lot of stuff to dig out." That was all that rubble. I'm like, yeah. These are the stones here we dug out, and it's like, hopefully, when it's a bit wetter now, it'll be a little bit easier. But I don't know.
It should plump up a bit more now when digging it, sort of thing. So
yeah.
Hopefully, anyway, can live in hope.
Yeah. I think I found, until my brush broke last week, I found sweeping the conservatory floor a lot easier actually while it was wet.
Yes, thank you.
Cleaning it a bit as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll bring a broom. I'll bring a broom tomorrow. I've got one behind the couch there. I'll bring the broom up.
Yeah, please. I've fixed ours, but I don't know how long the fix will last.
Right. Okay.
So I'll bring it anyway if it doesn't fall apart in the car. But I'll bring it anyway.
Is it one of those, Chrissie, that's had like 5 new handles and 6 new heads since you've had it?
But it's the same brush.
It's a B&Q special.
Awesome. So today, I posted a picture the other day about some that weird fucking orb that was the carriage drive. And oddly enough, Maria Glott from Solitaire Walks picked up on it, and they posted about not Eric Gates. What's his name? Not Eric Gates, the footballer, for God's sake. Gates owned the house last of all.
Yes.
That was interesting. She put up some pictures, and she said it was actually Gates's son that approved the sale of the house.
Oh.
And I believe that picture of the carriage driveway where it's all immaculate, that's from the actual brochure, although it wasn't included in the book.
Right.
So, I'm going to try and find this and see where.
There's 2 brochures, isn't there, that they made up for it?
Yeah.
They try to sell it once, and then they try to sell it again.
And 22 and 30, I think it was.
Yeah, 1922. I always had that in my head.
Ernest Gates, managing director of Salt Mill, bought Milner Field Mansion in 1923. Within 18 months, he and his wife were dead. I don't think they were both dead, were they? Their only child. Ernest Everard got rid of the Gothic mansion and eluded its curse. A major MP and prosecuted in the High Court, his life was never dull. So, it just seems that, the curse story always follows things around, but people were always kind of like on the last legs when they got there, weren't they?
It seems that way. Apart from Titus Salt, he wasn't know what it was.
No,
when he moved in.
Yeah, I mean, he had nearly 15 years there, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it's 16 years when he was there.
Something like that. Yeah, either 14 or 16.
And his wife stayed there for like 15 years afterwards or something.
Yeah, till like 1903 or something, 1901, 3.
Yeah, and then it went over to James.
Yeah, I think she moved out just before Edward VII, who visited in 82 before he was coronated, and then changed. I had to get some Bradford history books from the library today as well, which was pretty good, and they've got a lot of pictures from that time as well. One of the ones that was really good was 1870. It was where the Bradford City Hall is now. It just was there before, great big hole in the ground, the dugout, and everybody sat.
I think I've seen that picture that you put.
Foundation stone.
And I've never seen that picture before until then.
Yeah, and then the next one is from 1873 from London Illustrated Weekly, and it's like an etched drawing of it with all the carriages round the cobbled streets.
Yeah, the first phase of City Hall had been built then on it. So
to think that they were both built at the same time, but in the same style. Obviously, Lockwood and Mawson.
Different architects, isn't it?
The Gothic style, very, very similar, but obviously only a few short years after Houses of Parliament, so it was just a style of the day, I think, as well.
Yeah, it's probably the last time Britain had anything notable architectural to offer the world was Gothic revival. To be honest, we haven't got anything to offer world architectural anymore. So
no, it's bankrupt now.
Yeah,
that as well. That doesn't help.
Pretty much bankrupt, right?
Britain's the new Greece.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Gateses, looks like Gates's son was the one that just couldn't deal with it and just was like, put it up for sale. Let's just take the hit on it. And as we know, it didn't work, did it? It didn't. It just fell into waste. And then
in university try and get hold of it at one point, or someone try and sell it to university or something.
They did, yeah. They wanted to use it, one of the buildings, but it didn't go through either.
It's a shame. It's a shame it's still been there then. But saying that, we wouldn't be interested in it if it was still there, though.
Well, yeah, we wouldn't be allowed anywhere near it.
No,
we wouldn't even be talking about it, would we?
It won't have any mystery about it so much if it was still there. It'll have lost its charm, to be honest, then. It'd still been a lovely building, but part of the charm is the fact it's rubble sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd, but
who knows? Maybe in another fringe alternative universe, it's still there.
Yeah, not this universe.
No. Sorry, Chrissie, what were you going to add there?
I was just, I know, I'm sorry, I have a way of butting in. I'm very rude. I'm so sorry. No, I was just, weren't the Gates the second family to live in the house, not the third?
They were the third family, the last family, weren't they?
Hollins were the last family.
The fourth.
Yeah, Hollins were the last family.
Salt's Robert, Hollins, and then the Gates.
Hollins,
Salt, James, and then Gates on it.
Salt.
It was Salt.
Roberts.
Hollins. Gates. Hollins.
Oh, Gates Hollins.
Ah.
The Hollins boys.
The, end,
the Hollins boys left in 1930.
Right.
And they were the last people to live in the house.
Hollins.
Right.
So yeah, it was a momentary correction that's just gone a bit awry there, like arguing with you. Was it Hollins?
No,
they didn't have all to do with Salt Milner, did they?
Go on, Rob. Go on. What were you going to say?
Yeah, me or
Alan? Yeah.
Didn't the Hollins family not have anything to do with Salt's Mill? Weren't they the only family not to be associated with the mill?
No, I think they were still. I believe that their father was. I mean, I could flick through the book until I'm blue in the face and I won't find a page, but yeah, I believe he was.
Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, it's 1923 with Ernest Gates, but I believe the Hollinses had connections with Fanny Hurston and all.
I'm having a little look at Arthur Remington Hollins.
It was, pardon the phrase, but it was rather an incestuous ownership of the place. We're all kind of very closely connected. But I suppose that's how it's been.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, guys. Arthur Remington Hollins, successor to Gates at Salt, was the final occupant of the house.
So there was all there was all managers of the mill at some point then.
Yeah.
So
obviously the mill still owned the house after they left.
Yeah, so I wonder how long the mill still owned it for.
Yeah,
the mill's not going until 80s, isn't it? And
well, do we think there's possibly a connection between kind of like the fall of the woolen industry as well, and especially the worsted alpaca industry? Bradford was, you call it Worstedopolis.
Yeah, it was the wool capital of the world, wasn't it? So.
Yeah,
exactly. And I think obviously the First World War, most of the wool barons in Bradford were Jewish and German.
Yeah.
Hence
Advent of the First World War didn't work out too well for them. They had to.
No, it didn't go brilliantly, did it?
A lot of them moved away to places like Wetherby and Harrogate and Ilkley and changed their names to English names.
Yeah. I don't blame them at the time, to be honest. I think I'd have done the same if I were them.
Yeah, and not that they were, they may be like second generation or third generation, but they still had to do that. And that's when maybe a lot of that money moved away from Bradford. Around about the same time that, there was a lot of like synthetic yarns and things coming in from the east and China, like that.
The world caught up though, didn't it? The world caught up to us in the end. So
yeah,
they always stayed one step ahead, and then 2 world wars buggered that up a bit, and there wasn't so much money ploughed into research and the laboratories and stuff like that. So they found that the world was going to catch up and do it cheaper than we could. Not necessarily as good quality as us though, but
No, well, that was it because the blends that he used to use, Worcester blends, were used throughout the military and like police and things like that. The big surge coats and things that were like really tough, high quality. And
Well, Bradford's wool was known for its quality.
yeah, just got replaced.
So our shops like Marks and Spencers and so on used to only use Bradford wool up until the 70s.
Yeah. And of course, around that time, around the later time, Salt's time, 1880s, so on then to early 20th century, just after Salt's death, there was, I think, 1880s, there was all the labour strikes and things in Bradford, so that gave rise to the Independent Labour Party, which is
Bradford,
yeah, there's still Mechanics Hall at bottom of Leeds Road, which is where the original Independent Labour Party were based.
I found a building where they were actually started, and it turned into Giuseppe's, didn't it? I'd never noticed it was there until, it's got trees growing out of walls and all sorts now, so Bradford don't look after its heritage, but...
And I think that's been why down the years, obviously, people have taken people down south have taken a disliking to Bradford, because they didn't like its roots of like creating the Labour Party, and politically they kind of wanted to do everything they could to kind of take that down a bit, really.
It's new money as well, wasn't it? Bradford were new money, down south was old money, so that was always a bit frowned upon.
Of course,
that's why we got all these big grand buildings. It's like sticking two fingers up at the south. Look what new money can buy.
There were more Rolls Royces per mile in Bradford than anywhere else in the country, including London.
Yep, more millionaires per square mile as well.
And there were more Masonic lodges, big Masonic lodges like the Golden Dawn and things as well, where they were like very connected. There were also synagogues.
Actually.
Yeah, there's only one synagogue left, just off Manningham Lane. But yeah, there was a lot of connections.
There's Jewish family. One up Wakefield Road as well.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it used to be an old opera hall or something, I think, something like that, concert hall, but it's now a bit odd, but
yeah, so
I can't remember what it's called, but
yeah, I believe the first ever Labour Prime Minister was connected with the Independent Labour Party in Bradford, and look forward to today, and it's like it's lost in it. There's no connection with working people.
Bradford seems to wipe its history away. It seems to forget that it's got all this heritage and does nothing about it. It puts a little plaque up every now and then. That's about it, and it's the same.
little big plaque in it, and then it's
really small. I don't like to boast about what it's had in past, but it should do. Like places like Harrogate and York and stuff like that, they thrive on the history, but Bradford don't. It don't make sense to me. That it really don't make sense.
No, well, we don't have quite as much of the kind of the buildings left to show as well, because a lot of that.
We've still got a lot there though. We've got more listed buildings than anywhere else in Yorkshire in Bradford, so we must have a lot. We've got over 200, haven't we? So over 200 listed buildings in city centre itself. I think that's quite a big boast in itself, really. It's just a shame some of them are in such a bad condition. But
yeah, everything flipped, and there's no money really here now to kind of maintain those buildings.
No one wants to invest in Bradford, do they?
That would be the same with the mansion houses in the 20s and 30s. It'd be like they're all kind of like shut down and destroyed because there was no money to maintain them.
Yeah, the cost of running them houses got stupendous, isn't it, after wars?
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might still have Milner Fields and what have you. I don't think it was the curse that put people off. I think it was more the cost of running the place.
Yeah.
We touched on that last week, didn't we, Chrissie, about the damp and potential like flooding through the cellars and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you just you talk about the location of the house, it's
on the hillside.
I mean, I know it didn't have all the trees it had around it when it was when the house was upright, but it was very rural.
Oh yeah. There was still a lot of trees. It was still a woodland in all.
Yeah. They just weren't actually, they weren't in the vicinity of the house, so to speak, like they are now. Yeah. But yeah, it would have been, I should imagine, very damp.
I thought so.
Even though they built the house to counteract certain aspects, they would not have been able to prevent it. So
no, they didn't have the technologies we've got to. Like you look at an old Victorian house and you go in the cellar and it's damp, isn't it?
Exactly. And I can only really think of what was it, Roberts, that did renovations in the house.
Yeah.
You kind of wonder why they did those renovations. Did they have to do those renovations? Were things starting to fall apart? I know the house was.
Some didn't have to, but like
I know the house was very, very well built, and you can see that even now, 150 years later. But to redo quite a lot of areas like they seem to have done.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I would presume he was quite wealthy anyway, Roberts. But
very wealthy man.
Yeah, I still think that possibly they were forced to do certain things rather than actually doing them for vanity.
Yeah, and some of it were vanity. Like obviously the
Yeah.
conservatory that wasn't needed change, and it wasn't even very old, but
Yeah,
it just wasn't the style anymore. What it's
no, apparently not. No, though actually, I don't know. The second one is a little bit more pleasing, I must admit, but there are aspects of the first one that I think are better. It's just
I think it's a bit charming. Is the first one because it's with it being curved out. You don't see many curved ones.
No,
Second
exactly.
one, the more conventional with a bit of angular.
Yeah.
And wherever there's trees, you're naturally going to get damp.
Oh yeah.
The roots are going to go down. They're going to draw from water sources, and as I said before, there's at least 3 streams that run down the valley, under the plateaus, through the house.
Yeah.
They avoid the site of the old house, apart from the 2 wells, but they knew.
So that was set higher up, wasn't it? The old house.
Yeah, but they didn't build a house on top of the streams. They built it, to the side, and then
to the side on top of the platform.
The streams come down and through and down to the boating lake and so on. So it's kind of like I always said, that was his biggest mistake, was building it in that exact spot.
Planting the ivy, that would probably be a big mistake as well.
I know, yeah. Victorian ivy.
And bringing all those spiders around to live there.
Well, they did have it growing up the house, didn't they? One part in Salt's time.
Imagine what that had done to the house inside, what that would doing to the stonework and windows and all wooden windows.
Absolutely.
Spider pointing and everything else. And whenever there's ivy, there's spiders, aren't there? So
because when Roberts took over, all the ivy was removed.
It's cleaned up, wasn't it then?
Yeah, it took the ivy completely off the house, off the steps, going from a terrace down to the garden.
They didn't get
damage. I bet that's why it was removed.
Yeah, so he obviously knew something. But years and years of obviously neglect. Yeah, 100%. But years of neglect, and obviously no one's there living there, so there's nothing to stop the ivy from going where it wants.
Nature's taking it back.
Yeah.
It always does. Nature always wins in the end.
Of course it does. It's what it's here before us.
It certainly is, and it'll be here long after we've gone.
Yeah.
It's a constant. Instead of fire back off now, it's in a bit hot.
Okay, so I think next time round we're hoping to have Andrew with us as well. A bit like
I hope so.
One by one, and then that'd be really good to get his ideas and thoughts on things as well.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share, Chrissie, about
I think tomorrow I'd really it's a dream to shift that lintel.
The one
we've got straps. We've got Mark's bringing chain for some reason, bless him. He was like, you can cordon off all the site with chain. I was like, oh, bless him, and he's sweet. If we can just sort of pull that up. I did make some provisions last week to to make space and make it a bit flatter for us.
So
we can just drag it up, because I noticed obviously it was the steps. We need to dig out all the steps so we can find them all. The top one I dug out completely, and I found a retaining wall at the side.
Yeah, and the floor needs to come out. Yeah.
I'd like to know what the ground level floor were made out of, if it were Yorkshire stone or not, or if it's even there anymore, to be honest. I don't know if it'd have been flagged or.
Don't know.
We might have
the courtyard with gravel, wasn't it? So I don't know if it'd be
gravel, but maybe around the house.
It might have come out a tiny way and then been after that. So we're obviously got to find that one poco, one bit,
one way or another.
And then you got obviously to move all the bricks and rocks and stuff we cleared out. Then hopefully I can and go and do some of that during the week as well, and just kind of just to tidy things up a bit.
Well, I started doing that last week. I don't know if you noticed.
It's a thankless job.
I dragged 2 big ones out of the steps, those that had been pushed down.
Yeah.
I rolled those. Yeah, I've moved those. So we've literally just got one other, whatever it is that the lintel's resting on. So
yeah.
So
I tried moving it a while ago and it won't move.
I know. Well, we'll just, we'll do whatever we can, but wouldn't it be just amazing to be able to just walk up the steps?
Yeah, like someone hadn't done, well, no one will have done
no one will have
60,
done
70 years at least.
Exactly. So
yeah.
And we are in the hallway now. You can actually turn the corner and walk, can't you, David?
Yeah, the mound in front will get sorted and get done as well.
Yeah.
I need to get another spade. And I'm doing 2 things now as well. So I can even through the winter, I might got the odd days and so on as well. But
yeah, me too.
Tidy things up as well. But
winter's the best time to be in places like that, in my opinion.
Well, as long as it's not absolutely hailing it down or kind of like peeing.
No, as long as it's dry. If it's dry weather, then it's lovely. I like bitter cold. Band some wellies on dead up there. It's fine.
Yeah,
I don't mind that.
Yeah, but you know what British weather's like? It's like sometimes it just rains for weeks on end, doesn't it? Like
yeah,
it really is. It's
try killing that at reservoirs.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to give you one question from the quiz anyway, and
we have to answer now.
And Andrew comes as well. So right, here we go. And there's no bonus points. You win some of Andrew's wood.
Only some of it.
Right. So Titus Salt Jr. was famous, obviously, in Britain as being one of the leading orchid growers. In fact, he won prizes for his orchids that he grew, some in the farmhouse, some in the kitchen gardens as well. This is kind of a 2-part question. So what was the other main type of flower that took his interest? And what was its Latin and English name?
Oh, bloody hell.
Oh, I ain't getting that then. You've got no chance.
I'll give you one of the answers then. Lapagarias.
Well, I wouldn't have got that.
Still no idea.
No. The only small flower's called... do you give in?
Yeah, I give in.
Well, like I'm keeping Andrew's wood then.
You're happy then.
There were Chilean bellflowers.
Oh,
I've never even heard of them.
Tiny little, beautiful little bells with little petal that come down. Literally look like a little beautiful little pink or purple coloured bell. Yeah, Lapagarias. I had to look it up. It was like...
I've never heard of them.
Because
I would never have got that.
With South America, where do the alpacas come from? Where does Lacoca come from? Where does everything else that you love come from? Yes. Chilean bellflowers. You love that.
Oh, my word.
He's a regular visitor. So there you go. I've got many more questions like that for next time.
The king of the obscure of the obscure questions. Oh my God.
Well, I'll put some easy ones in there as well.
I was going to say, otherwise I'll be like nil qua.
I know. I'll be kind to you all. Maybe not to Andrew, but
questions like what day is it? That's more like it.
What year was the house built?
What day is it? Sorry, by the way.
Yeah.
It is Friday, I think.
Is it?
Is it Friday?
Before Saturday.
Friday. Oh, good Lord. All right. So, and we found some fairly interesting stuff in the rubble, haven't we? And just not just wildlife, but
spiders.
Spiders, moths. I was saying last week, to Carla's like, we're digging these big holes in here. Like, there's no badgers in here. And Chrissie's going, no, don't be stupid. There's no badgers. I was thinking, well, if we dig a hole like that, they're going to move in, aren't they?
No.
Well, I would if I was a badger. Unless I was a badger that's scared of spiders, then I won't. But
yeah. Well, to move into the house.
Ideal.
In a mansion.
A pop badger.
All right, okay, fair enough. Maybe a couple of stoats or weasels, I don't know.
Oh.
There's a few weasels I've been with.
Well,
I didn't quite mean it that way, but I didn't mean it.
This is a family podcast. Don't mention any names, please. Right.
No.
Okay.
I was on about actual weasels.
Oh,
Oh, no,
okay.
not actual weasels, no. So yeah, it was interesting. I'll just get a copy of the book. Where's it gone? It's right here. This one as well. Because last Friday after we did the podcast, I went into Bradford, hurried into Bradford to get to Waterstones, and thought there was nobody there. I knocked on all the doors and couldn't see anyone. Went back to the front door, and there was this lady at the counter, and I was like, "Oh, I'll let you in. Come in." Is the author Frances Brodie here tonight? She's like, "Oh yeah, come in." She pushed back right to the back of it, which is on against Market Street, and there's like about 25 people just sat around there. And Frances had begun a talk and so on as well, because it's for the book, which will come up on the YouTube, A Mansion for Murder, which I started reading already and is fantastically researched. And I mentioned in the podcast as well, she's done her homework, she's done her research, and she's rather very good author, but just the mythology of it and everything, the detail is just superb. So if you do get a chance to pick up a copy or read it and get it from your library or whatever, it's well worth it. It's fantastic. No, I mean, I do love a murder mystery, but now and then, but that one's so far it's good stuff. And
Yeah.
I believe that there's a lady at Salt's Mill from the heritage side of things, a lady called Maggie Smith.
So, yes, she was mentioned over there.
Yes. So
yeah.
Maggie, if you're out there, Maggie, if you're watching this, please get in touch. Let's hear from you. We could probably have a good chat about things.
It's good to hear from anyone with some knowledge. To be honest, anyone that's got any knowledge on not just Salt Air in general, not just the house, but good to hear.
It's not only that though, just knowledge. From my perspective, I've got all, I've saved all these, artifacts from my house.
Yeah.
They don't look like much, but when you look at how thick
the glass,
yes,
some of that glass I've seen is like thick as your finger. It's like really thick.
Well, I mean, check that piece out. Look how thick that is.
Imagine how expensive that glass was, and it's the amount of glass that's in that sort of thing. It's
got my horrible nails in the shot as well. I forgot about that. But can you see how warbled it is, Alan? Look.
Come on, Chrissie, get your nails done for next week.
Does that mean I have to put nail polish on? I don't think so.
I don't have to put nail polish on.
It'll come off in like microseconds at Milner Field, so there's no point. I'm much more into digging into the dirt rather than, and I found a little slice of, I presume, Carrara marble. What's your like pie?
Marble cake.
Marble cake. That cake was amazing, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I must also put a shout out to the staff of Waterstones in Bradford and the amazing cake, which I didn't get to taste because I've got severe gluten intolerance. But Chrissie said it was absolutely fantastic.
It was a wedge as well.
Especially to the lovely lady who let me in and then plied me with wine and then offered me cake and then.
That sounds like a good date.
No. I think she mistakenly thought I was the author of the Milner Field house book, and they tried to say a few times that I wasn't. And but anyway, well, I'll leave that to another week.
Yeah.
Milner Field. So yeah. Anyway, the cake apparently was very good, and it looked, very good.
Oh, it was delicious. I ate the whole thing.
All that refined sugar, all that gluten, all that cream, all that dairy. I would have not been digging the next day. I'd have been dead. Brown bread.
It was just too tempting. Sorry, I broke my fast. It was just there.
Well,
it's got to be done if it's cake.
There's nothing wrong with cake for breaking fast.
No.
So play on words. Right, so anybody else got any stories they want to tell about Milner Field? Anything? Outrageous?
I don't know if I don't particularly have any stories, to be honest, apart from that photo that I took that I did put on Facebook. Did you see that, Alan?
Yeah, I looked at it. It's a bit of a strange figure in distance, isn't it?
I took the photograph and while I was taking it, I had a sense that someone was watching me, and I don't know why. I thought it was from behind. So I span round after I'd taken the photograph. I thought there's no one there, and then I saw something sort of shift in the distance. It was down by the kitchen end.
Yeah.
And obviously, I like to go through the arch when I get there because I feel like I'm coming home.
That wasn't when
I don't go attention that top me.
But I carried on after I'd taken the photograph. I went through the arch, and I did see something moving down by where the carriages would have gone to the kitchen side. And I just thought, there's no. I walked down there to see because I would, I wanted to know if probably someone walking a dog or something. But no, I walked all the way around the lower garden. And there was no one there at all. And then I forgot about it. And then I was, uploading my pictures and doing whatever. And I don't even know why. Actually, I just looked at it. I thought, oh, that's quite nice. It looks like a circle in the, in a distance.
It's like it's made of glass or something, whatever it is.
It's weird. And then I zoomed in the best I could, and I honestly, I was like, oh, it looked like somebody or something. I was just, but I've had that. I said this to David last week. I've had this many times before.
As you know, I do have a kind of a penchant for the supernatural and all that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, and I've had to do it for years, so it's like, ooh. Yeah, regular Constantine me. So yeah, I've got quite a few photos and things, but I've also got, there's a few times as well where I've seen something walking about that's there but not there.
Yeah.
And it always looked to me when I'd seen it was like I know somebody else has said this, well, like Green Man, but kind of like opaque, see through, and then look again, it's gone. And pictures of orbs and things and like the ones I posted this week on social media. You can't explain that. I'm always skeptical.
I'm very skeptical with stuff like that, me.
I always have been. I always have been. Yeah, I've never really. In fact, I think it was when my sister passed away that I thought, I don't know, it flipped me on my head, the whole, I kind of was open to it suddenly because, the thought that my sister would still be there and watching me and, it's a comfort. But as soon as I started hanging around Milner Field, there's too many, I can't explain it. It's just...
I know there's things that I've also worked in the past and that kind of thing and been to the other side of that, but there's new research out at the moment from quantum physicists such as Roger Penrose and other big worldwide kind of quantum field physicists, theorists, reckon that when you die, your consciousness or part of you, an imprint, leaves your body at the time that you die and goes out into the quantum field, the wider field, and is stored there. And kind of like you would get like a cloud drive in a computer where you get stuff, images and things stored up in up in the ether, like that. So I think there's got to be an imprint of places as well where certain events, certain things happened.
Yeah.
Very, very powerful or kind of like emotional, and they got imprinted on, because the earth can be like, they say, like a kind of like a bit of a video recorder or a tape recorder.
Like you said, hard drive, maybe the earth.
That's right. Like natural energy, the earth is like records stuff. What the people would say would be ghosts or would be spirits or whatever as well. So we don't know yet because it's still that kind of things in its infancy, but they reckon that there's like a whole field out there that things can get imprinted and recorded on. And that's the very latest kind of like, these are scientists. These are like the world's top quantum physicists.
Scientists have always stayed away from stuff like that.
I can read so much and then my mind goes.
I know.
I think everyone's mind does that.
No, I don't think no one knows enough about it yet to be able to pinpoint what is what, but there's got to be something.
I don't think anyone will for a long, long time yet.
No, not in our lifetime.
No, definitely not.
No, right. So let's bring us down to earth again. Tomorrow. So there's there's kind of a cut-off point, isn't around the trees where we've got to kind of. I think we've got almost there, but I was thinking about the other side towards the drawing room. That could be, and round there that could be the next way to go.
Yeah.
Unless you keep digging the other way around the back house.
My personal my personal passion is leading me straight on where we are now, to where the staircase would have been, you know, where the house juts out.
Yeah.
You know where the office window is?
Yeah. Well,
the office window's here.
Eastwards.
Sorry.
Eastwards.
Can't see me. Oh, for God's sake. I'm going to just show you on the floor plan.
So
right.
I could have printed the floor plan out for this.
I know, yeah. Can you see where am I on this floor plan?
Yeah, you're at the conservatory, just next to it.
That's the orangery. So we're digging here, aren't we?
Yeah, just where your finger is.
Yeah.
Where my nasty old mouldy fingernail is. I'd like to carry on down here a bit.
Going eastwards, eastwards.
Yeah. Into the actual staircase itself.
That's the staircase that jutted out a little bit.
Do you reckon that piece of wood got to do with that?
No, because the piece of wood was like inside here somewhere.
Oh, right, it was done to wood. I didn't know if it was sort of like counterbalanced.
Yeah, no, the wood was actually inside the office in the corner.
Right.
But we did actually, we have actually seen through the office window. We've seen the other brick wall of the office.
Yeah.
That would have separated it from the stairway.
Mm-hmm.
So that still stands. So I think there's probably enough foundations of this section here left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
To trace down to where there's nothing, because obviously where the porch was.
Yeah, then it goes down to the ground.
I think the bulldozer sort of went through like this.
Yeah, sort of straight down where your finger is, sort of flattened there, isn't it? Unfortunately.
Yeah, completely. So, but there's nothing left of the porch, obviously, or the vestibule, or
no.
But parts of the hallway may still stand, where like the wall that the organ was on.
Yeah, it could do actually. It's just about on the boundary of where it might go.
That's where it starts to sort of raise the rubble.
Yeah, it's a bit 50-50 there, isn't it? Sort of thing. It could be there. It might not be.
I think I'd be happy if we just managed to trace down at least to see if what remains, and then foundation, and then stop there, because at least we've uncovered that portion.
Yeah.
And perhaps maybe we could go round and start doing the orangery doorway into the house. But I mean, some of those beasts are, that are blocking the doorway.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can move that big lintel, we can move them in orange.
Well, probably, yeah. I mean, we do have a huge bag of moving straps now. Yeah. So thanks to Mark.
As long as there's a few of us, strap it up and just sort of drag it out the way as best we can.
Yeah, it's just taking care of what we drag it across, and also the stone itself. It's
drag it over rubble more than all else if we can, but
just so we don't damage anything, because I'd hate to be accused of being a vandal of any sort of description.
Even if we have to put more rubble down on top of things we've uncovered to drag it, it's sort of worth it to re-dig it back out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, we did it in Egyptian times, so we can do it.
Yeah, if they could do it 4,000 years ago, I'm sure we can manage now.
So
lintels.
Yeah, going from that bit like the northwest corner of the building, then working eastwards back towards the other side. So yeah.
Well, I think that's the best preserved area of the house.
Mm-hmm.
But back to where the ante room doorway was, I think there's quite a lot of the
it tapers down, doesn't it, as you get towards
this sort of portion of the house here where the ante room door was. I think there's quite a lot of that left.
Yeah, it's just sort of off to right hand side of that, where it's all sort of missing, isn't it, really, that end of the house. I
was quite surprised actually, but I need to have a look tomorrow, maybe pull some ivy away, but I did mention in my various posts about the drawing room bay window, which I keep droning on about because I love it. That whole side of the house that had the corbel window tied into it, as well as the drawing room bay, if I can just, this is a really crude way, David, I'm sorry, but
No,
can you
no.
see how it ties in?
Hmm.
I don't think there's much of any of this left.
No,
The actual foundations of the.
no. You'd have to go down.
Yeah, you've
But I
got
don't
like
even-
the foundation.
I'm not even sure how much foundations are left, because I mean, they did such a good job ripping out the corbels, and they were huge.
Well, they'd have to be the lower foundations.
But there just doesn't seem to be any kind of wall. I was looking last week because I literally got on my hands and knees and dug out the foundation of the bay. I knew there was more under there, and I found it. But I mean, if you look at,
yeah, and there'd have to be some part of the lower foundations left under there as well, because on that plateau as well, you think about where the wall is and where the wall goes down, the whole thing would have gone down beneath that as well.
Yeah.
They built things.
It would have been a cellar, wouldn't they, underneath it, I'd expect as well.
Yeah.
So there's got to be something still down there, just not of ground level, maybe not.
Well, they went down pretty low, I must admit, because I mean, I don't know. It's so difficult to tell because soil production's so rampant now.
Yeah.
The soil level has built up over the decades to such a degree that I don't even know. I mean, look at those iron fittings that we pulled out of the ground for the conservatory roof.
Yeah.
They were buried deep.
Yeah, they were.
They wouldn't have been buried. The men would have just hoid them there.
Yeah, they'd have just chucked them aside. They probably planned on taking them, to be fair, originally.
So, I mean, original terrace floor level must have been way deeper. I mean,
yeah.
Stands
it's
to reason,
worth
really.
I'd find out what that, that piece that we were noticing in front of the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see what that was today.
Yeah.
I've never
I know,
noticed.
it's like some weird concrete, I don't even know, it's like a little hole in the ground.
Yeah, there's a bit of an hole, isn't there? It's like sort of dig round it and see if we can work out what it is. Might have been piping that went through there, might have been an inspection.
I don't know what it is.
I was there today, and it looked like somebody else had been up there as well recently, very recently in the last week.
Yeah.
And it just seemed to be full of bricks and stones.
What did?
Beneath, because somebody's dug into it, and on another side, and it wasn't you or not, but it looks like.
No.
Somebody else.
Just about see it.
Somebody else has been joining in.
Can you see it there?
Yeah.
On the ground.
Yeah, it's still there, isn't it? It's just doesn't look round. It looks round on that picture, but it looks square when you're there in front of it, sort of thing. But it's covered in a bit of rubbish in it as well, so it's covered in a bit of soil and what have you at the moment.
Yeah,
we'll have to look at that and just see what.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. And so, so I've been documenting all this, and Alan, Chrissie have as well. So for people watching at home as well, or listening at home, if you do look into the video cast, we'll document everything that we uncover and see as well, just so you're not just talking about it too, and then go from there, because it's it's one thing to hear about it, but it's different when you kind of see it for yourself. So keep on taking those, and compiling those together as well. Like I say, the project could go on for a long while, unless
fingers crossed.
Anybody wants to land on us, come stop us and say no, you can't do that. But that's fine.
Unless a certain group of people get the right way, then we'll still be doing it.
Absolutely, many people have approached the subject. The land is privately owned by a company that's dormant, and they've not fenced anything off. They've not made it private land. They've not put any.
It's publicly accessible.
Absolutely nothing whatsoever. It's been open to the elements for nearly 90 years now.
Yeah, I think it's been publicly accessible for nearly that long as well. So
everybody has access to it. Public place is classified as somewhere where the public have access to it by means of payment or otherwise. And that means that,
they actually put a gate in a few years ago that was sort of public could get in as well up at top. They put a gate in that was open for us. So it's always had access for as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
So it couldn't really be any problems. And the company that own it don't seem to really care. They just want to probably get rid of it and build houses on it, a few copy and paste houses on it.
Well, they can't do because of the demographic of the land. It's not suitable for house building, but all the protected species are trees, pear trees, apple trees, and everything else. The fact that it's become a bird sanctuary.
They had all that with the walls, but they still didn't.
Yeah, there's just so many like protected species of birds there as well, not just like blue-grey herons.
There's bats and all sorts in that place.
There's
Yeah.
bats,
I
there's
spent a
owls,
night there. There were
there's
bats
jays,
floating about.
woodpeckers, there's cormorants, there's everything you can think of. There's every protected species of spider.
Oh, yeah, there's at least one species anyway. I know of one.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Sweaty ones.
Yeah, they're the ones. That's what I actually called European sweaty spiders.
Well,
Sweaty, greasy
there's a
looking
question.
ones.
There's a question for viewers and listeners at home. Do you know any spiders that sweat? If you can contact us, then we'll be happy to mention that as well. That could be interesting. Yeah. All right. So
A new demographic of sweaty spiders.
I think we need to get some pictures. Actually,
I think Peter Parker might have sweated once or twice. But he was good at what
I think I've got a couple of pictures at spiders.
Have you? And the bulbs.
Awesome.
I've got one at bulbs. Definitely got one at bulbs. So I took in all that little void that you dug out a while ago with pipes in it.
Yeah.
I've got a picture in there with bulbs running down. I've got that somewhere. I think it's on laptop somewhere.
Yeah, hideous, awful.
They are horrible things. I'm not scared of spiders, but them ones, I'll give them a wide berth. I don't like them at all.
Send in your spider pictures. To win a prize for next week's podcast, send in your spider pictures. The bigger and more colourful and ugly, the better.
Sweatier the better.
Okay. So, yeah, I think it's kind of, well, it is what it is. It's got legs. So, anyway.
If it's got legs, it's a spider. Is that how it works? No.
All right, so yeah, just a quick note to people where they can find us. Yeah, we mentioned that we're putting the podcast out everywhere. This is on the second audio podcast, so it's on iTunes and Spotify, Amazon, Audible, Google Podcasts. It's going to be on all the other podcast platforms as well soon. It just takes a while to kind of distribute it out. And then the video casts, there's some extra ones as well. There's some other stuff if you like to be more visual and you like to see the conversation, see what we're doing and everything else as well. Yeah, Milner Field History and Discovery channel on YouTube, and it's on BitTube, it's on Odyssey and Library, and going on to Rumble now as well. For those of you that, like you're not so keen on YouTube and Google and all of that.
Sorry.
But we're also on Instagram as well and Twitter. So just look up Milner Field History and Discovery Podcast. And we're on Facebook as well. The groups, there's a page and a group. The group is Milner Field History and Discovery, and the page is just Milner Field. So hoping by the time next year rolls around as well, that we'll have a website, probably milnersalt.com, and hoping that like round I've been doing this all year, the photography project, that we'd be able to post a whole load of like seasonal month by month photos of everything, the wildlife, the house, everything, just so people can go on there and appreciate and enjoy it as well. Because I know a lot from seeing all the stats and things, a lot of people are abroad or they've moved away from this area and they still want to remain connected to Milner Field. And I think that is possibly part of our greatest passion, isn't it, guys, to be able to help other people reconnect, and to show them as well. What do you think, Chrissie?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. I get a real buzz showing people around, but not only that, it's just, it's amazing to myself to find what's left. It's there's a lot left, like we said last week. You get there and you think it's all gone. Well, it hasn't.
There's much more than first thought. You can walk about it for days and still think there's not much left, but have a little scratch away at surface.
Yeah.
There's loads.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it's nearly up at first floor level in some parts, isn't it?
Yeah. And we, like you say, we've only touched on one corner of the house.
Yeah, so far.
What else is out there?
Yeah, definitely. Lots more. So the whole point of it is, what we're doing is we're not there to like profit or make money from anything or do anything like that. You just simply, we always stress to people, anyone, if you're out there and you live in the near area or anywhere around, if you come get in touch with us through the Facebook group or wherever, Twitter, Instagram, wherever. If you've got a spade, if you've got a pair of garden gloves, if you've got the back, we can take a few hours of digging, even if you want to do a little bit of, you've got some secateurs, you want to cut back ivy, even if you just want to come and be involved, please do get in touch, either with myself or Alan or whoever. It doesn't matter. Just get in touch. We'll always answer your messages. So I think, is there anything else to add, or is that it for this week?
No, good.
Well, good. Yeah. We need Andrew on board.
Yeah.
And, if you don't get his wood soon, I'm going to claim it.
The one man and his wood.
If you don't claim it this weekend, it might go missing. You know what I mean? So, right, awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Alan, for joining us. Thank you, Chrissie, as well. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. But for you,
certainly will.
Yeah, no, that's been good. It's been good fun as well. And it's mostly us rambling on. People at home will get something from this. And yeah, as well, I'm going to be taking note of questions that come in across all the platforms, because there's a lot of different things. So, as the podcast go on, I'll have a list of questions from the people out there.
Yeah.
So we'll pass those on, and we'll get all of you to answer those as well.
Yeah, we'll try and answer them to the best of his knowledge anyway. So.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah, because between us, we've got a lot of knowledge and experience of what's going on there. Right. So only remains to say goodbye for now, and yeah, please, just keep watching, and we'll keep posting the videos and everything up as well. And very, very much thank you to you guys, and say hello to Cal for us. He's there, is he? Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys, and good night for now.
Bye, guys. See you tomorrow. Bye.